You're listening to Tabletop Arcanum, a podcast dedicated to learning and exploring the hobby of tabletop gaming. Your hosts are Justin Taylor and Richard Geese, so sit back and relax as we talk, discuss, and joke our way through the hobby we love so much. Attention adventurers, 40 wipe clean maps or tabletop roleplay, roll initiative on the go, or expand your encounter area for extra rooms and corridors. This is Tabletop Arcanum, and I'm your host, Justin, and today I bring you a review of the Little Book of Battle Maps Dungeon Edition. Now, we did do a unboxing and kind of got my first impressions out of this book already. Keep in mind, this is a little book, so it's a little 6-inch by 6-inch, 360-degree spinal-bound flip book that is designed for your tabletop RPGs. Now, this is a similar product to one of our other reviews, the Immersive Battle Maps, different company. This is put out by Loke Battle Maps, the other was by Yarrow Studios. They're two different product lines that kind of are aiming to solve the same. I have no time to prep, I'm DMing a game, and I need a battle map. How do I do it? Well, the Little Book of Battle Maps is a good way of doing that. So some of the things that this thing does well, it is small, compact, and sturdy. Now this, of course, is the little book, so it is only 6 inches by 6 inches. Loki does offer larger products, and they go all the way up to like 24-inch by 24-inch for the standard Book of Battle Maps Dungeon Edition. And the other nice thing is it is designed to be a companion, so you're not going to get duplicate maps like miniaturized versions of the things in the big book. The neat thing to that, though, is some of them are entrances, some of them are corridors or hallways or side chambers, and you can use everything in conjunction with itself. So you can have the big book out, you put the little book between that and another one, and then you have like this hallway that connects the two, and you can build this elaborate big room with a few fast books, no real effort on your part as the DM other than populating it with monsters and traps and fun stuff for your adventurers. So some of the things that this does well is I really like the fact that it is spiral bound. It is sturdy and super useful in that sense. Now, the spiral bound is something that you can take the pages out and rearrange them if you wished, but more importantly about the spiral bound, because it's a 360 spiral, if you're using, let's say, the very first or second page, you can take some of those back pages, flip them over to even out the book, so therefore you don't really have like this lopsided play space. You can actually keep it to where it's nice and even, which is something that not all the battle maps are really good at. The obvious con to that, it is spiral bound, so in the middle of your map you are going to have like this bumpy ring throughout it, unless you take the pages off the spiral bound itself completely, which is obviously something you can do. Now, I've talked about rearranging pages and you go, Justin, what is wrong with you? Why would you tear apart this book? Well, maybe you want to use specific hallways in a certain way or reconfigure it, but maybe you want to also put it back together in the way it was originally bound. Well, say no more. The back of the book has little images of which pages pair with which other pages, so you can reassemble the entire thing together if you decide to tear it apart. That little worry is aside. Now, another thing I like about it is while it is pretty heavy cardboard, it's 24 pages. It is relatively light, and this is something I can throw in my backpack and I will not really notice the difference. Other battle map books are large, heavy, cumbersome. We've talked about those before, and that is one of the things that I did not like about that, because if I'm a traveling GM, my problem is I'm already bringing my Player's Handbook, Dungeon Master Guide, Monster Manual, minis, whatever else, my notebook, maybe a laptop. I'm already loaded with a bunch of stuff, right? If I want a battle mat book along, I don't want anything that's going to encumber me any more than I already am. And that's where I think the Little Book of Battle Mats is good. This is something I would have in my backpack. You know, I may not use it every session, but it would be the back pocket like you guys end up going in a sewer, and I never anticipated that, and I don't have anything else prepared for that. But, lo and behold, I know in the back of my mind, I've got at least a 6 square, so 30 feet wide by 60 foot long sewer map in this book that I can like plop down and like, hey, let's have a little fight in there. You can fight sewer monsters or rats or boogeymen or maybe the Cult of the Dead 3, whatever that might look like to you. Maybe the adventuring party finally gets caught and the consequences and they're thrown in jail. Well, I've got a small map of jail cells, and that is what Little Book of Battle Maps does well. I've talked about a little bit of the cons already. My biggest and major con is going to be the fact that with the spiral in place, it will lay flat, which is really good, but you do have that spiral in there. It is the nature of this type of format book. If that visually bothers you, there are other product lines out there, but I think this is the one that I would prefer over the others. The spiral doesn't bother me as much as the benefits outweigh it, and the fact that I can rearrange the pages is really the benefit of that spiral. 360-degree flip is one thing, so like even if I only want to use half the book, I can still do that. The only other possible opportunities, I would say, this one is a smaller book. I definitely feel like you might want to look at the larger products first and then get the little books as a supplement if you are trying to use this as your primary map solution. If it is your back pocket, I have to ad-lib on the fly solution, this is going to be great. If this is going to be a primary solution, these 6-inch by 6-inch pages, which is 6-inch by 12-inch if you go like full open, isn't very big for fights, and close quarter fights are fun, but open field fights are also fun too, especially because of things like area effect spells, a fireball, and those alikes. So either way, there's pros and cons to it. This is definitely a product line that I would recommend over other battle map product lines personally, because it solves the solution of I need a map now with some flavor or some color to it and without any sort of over encumbrance. You can draw on it, you can wipe on it. So if you need to alter the maps, you can. If you need to mark the maps of like, hey, this is where XYZ is, you can absolutely do that. So I would definitely say this is a product worth checking out. You can find it online or through your friendly local gaming store, or you can order direct through Loke Battle Maps. I will be posting a link in the description so that you can find them. And that is my hot take on the Little Book of Battle Maps Dungeon Edition. As always, thank you for listening. We are on our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram if you wish to follow and see any new content that we have coming up. We're also streaming on Twitch, which then gets uploaded to YouTube after the fact, so you can actually watch me unbox the Little Book of Battle Maps and see all of the colorful lines and detail that are on these beautiful pages through that video. Link to that in the description as well. As always, thank you for listening. This has been Justin. Happy gaming.
You've been listening to Tabletop Arcanum, hosted by Justin Taylor and Richard Geese, and featuring the original music by Paul Moore and Isaac Gilbert. You can follow us on most social media platforms. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave us a review on whatever platform you listen to podcasts. As always, thanks for listening.